Theme song.
There is someone walking behind you. Turn around.
Hello, everyone, and once again, welcome to the Fandom Zone. I'm your host, Steven. With me, as always, your co-host, Edgar.
Hi, everyone.
So let's just jump right into this.
Yeah.
Let's start with the news, as always.
Awesome. What you got for us?
First thing I got, Taika Waititi.
I don't know who
I
that
hope
is.
I'm pronouncing that right. He directed a few episodes of Flight of the Conchords.
I watched like 3 episodes of the Flight of the Conchords.
Well, maybe you watched one of his. But more importantly, he directed and starred in What We Do in the Shadows, which is a mockumentary about vampires.
I've heard about it.
It's really good and really funny.
Oh, cool.
If you can, you should watch it.
I haven't heard of it, but I'll definitely check it out.
You should. Anyway,
Okay.
the
So
big
what
news with
about
him is he's supposedly directing Thor 3, Thor
Ooh.
Ragnarok.
Wait, they don't have a director on it already?
Nope.
When's it supposed to come out?
2017. So they got some time.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But usually they have these things pretty set out beforehand. But, they do what they need to do.
I just now I thought of a genius line for that movie.
What?
They need to I'm giving you this one, Marvel. Thor Ragnarok you like a hurricane. You're welcome, Marvel.
That reminds me, I just got Rock Band 4.
Nice.
It's boring me, which is sad because you know me. I'm a huge rhythm game guy. But it's too easy. First day I got it, which was on Tuesday. And you know me, I always go right straight to the hardest songs.
Yeah.
So I went to the hardest songs, and I went on expert, and I got 4 stars and 91%
Wow.
on most of them first try. And it's way too easy of a game. It makes me sad inside.
Well, you can still look forward to Guitar Hero.
Yep, it comes out 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. Yeah. Anyway.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen anything of his.
You should.
Unless
he's
by chance I watched one of the Flight of the Conchords episodes. But
maybe. Let's
I don't
hope.
know.
And also, you should watch that movie I said to watch.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I've heard some people recommend it already. So
I'm down for this. This is gonna be great.
Yeah.
I really like him, and I think he's got a certain style of comedy.
But it sounds like he's comedic.
He is.
Ragnarok shouldn't be comedic.
Yeah, that's the one where Thor dies.
Yeah, so I can't.
It'll be interesting though.
I don't want it to be a fun movie.
I believe in him.
All right. I guess if you know more about him than I do, so maybe you have a good idea of what he can do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do.
All right, then. Moving on.
All right, so what else you got?
In news everybody wanted ever, 4 more Transformer movies are being planned.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Everyone's favorite.
This is great. Yeah. You can just tell the enthusiasm welling inside me.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Edgar bouncing off the wall right now.
I'm so bouncing off the walls right now.
I think we all are, really.
Yeah. Are they still going to go with Mark Wahlberg?
Yes, as far as I know. He's the
good idea.
new man of that franchise.
Yeah.
I like Mark Wahlberg.
He's all right. He's got a few movies where questionable, but he's all right.
It's real hard to like him.
It's hard to publicly like him, I guess.
I like him in movies. I don't know how he is as a person. He seemed like a bad person.
Or when he was Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch.
He's like a real life Les Miserables character.
Is he?
The main character in that? I can't remember his name.
Jean Valjean?
Jean Valjean, thank you. Yeah, because apparently when he used to be a troubled youth.
Yeah.
And then he met a pastor who turned him around in life.
Yeah, I did read
He tried to steal silver from after he stole bread, and the pastor was like, "Nah, I gave that to him." And he was like, "I'm gonna be a good guy from now on."
Huh.
That's exactly what happened.
That That's a similar story to what happened to Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Really?
Yeah. Back when he was first into the rock scene, he was a real party guy. He was real cocaine, heroin,
The rock star
prostitutes.
lifestyle.
Yeah, he was a rock star. And then
Having
he
his
met.
daughter strip in a music video.
No, this was later.
Ah, okay.
Well, no, this was before that.
Ah,
Yeah, and then he met this sassy black woman at a church, and she's like, "Look, Steven Tyler, you're gonna die if you keep this up. So let me take you to church, let me take you to rehab, and I'll be there with you every step of the way." And he's like, "You know what? Why
he
not?"
said, no. I'm sorry. That's a completely different artist.
Yes, it is. But he's like, "Well, I guess if you're gonna come with me, sure, why not?" And she did. She went along with him at every meeting and everything, every appointment that he had until he was rehabilitated.
Wow.
And her only condition was that he come sing with her at her church. And there's a beautiful video of him singing at her church, singing Amazing Grace. And no, I think it's just Amazing Grace. And he sings Amazing Grace. And it's a really beautiful video. But yeah, basically similar story.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, both
Clearly-
troubled people
yeah.
going to church, apparently.
Clearly, they need to remake Les Miserables with both of them playing Jean Valjean.
At the same time.
Yep.
We have to Siamese twins them.
One's Jean, the other one's Valjean.
Anyway, what else?
Transformers movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Both were terrible things.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving on is the Pepsi bottle from Back to the Future Part 2
Ooh.
is becoming a real thing.
We're going to get it?
Yeah.
Ah, finally.
Because this is the 30th anniversary and the year
Yeah.
that they came to.
Mm-hmm.
They also released a trailer for Jaws 19. Did you watch that?
I did not. I saw that it was up, but I never watched it.
Yeah.
Is it pretty good?
I didn't see it either.
Ah, damn.
I don't know. I was actually like sitting on my couch, like I should watch that before I go.
Yeah.
Nah. I don't know why. I really want to watch it. I just haven't.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it after this
Yeah.
while I'm editing.
But yeah, that's real cool. It's gonna
Yeah.
cost like $20.
Oh, damn. It's a good thing I don't drink soda anymore.
And it's like there's gonna be a small amount made.
Oh, that sucks.
Don't know why. It's just a bottle. It's
Yeah.
just a bottle.
But
That's
it's
all.
a collector's edition.
So-
Like, you don't get the exact date that a movie came to very often.
That's true.
And it's such an iconic movie.
Yeah, that's very
As
true.
Back to the Future. That was 2, right?
Yeah.
When they went, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty iconic movie, and to come to this date, it's a pretty big. It's pretty marketing.
That's
it's a
very
good
true.
marketing strategy for Pepsi.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, I guarantee you, a lot of people.
What if
are
this was their
I'll
plan
probably
all
buy
along?
one.
What if this was their plan all along?
They've been playing the long con.
30 years. Like, we'll make one cool bottle in a movie, and then sell it for millions 30 years from now.
I hope that was their plan.
I
They had
hope so,
planned this
too.
all the way back then, 30 years from now.
Good job, Pepsi.
Yeah.
You did good.
Okay, so let's move on.
Yep.
Next piece of news is Cartoon Network is making a new Justice League animated series.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it going to be Justice League Go?
No. That'd be pretty great. But no, it's apparently going to be a new series. It's not much is known right now, other than it's a new series and it's going to be set. No, not set. It won't come out until late next year.
Oh. Well, I'm excited for
Yeah.
that. They had some pretty good Justice League shows back in the day, so I'm excited to see what they can make.
I would prefer they bring back a different show that I loved,
Have we talked
but
about
I guess
that on
not.
this show?
I don't know. Probably.
I think we have.
Tryon and I have both been on this, so we've had to have.
I'm pretty sure. If not, what the show he's talking about is Young Justice.
Yes, I love
And
that show. That was one of my favorite shows ever.
He's
And
still
then
very upset.
I'm
that it was
very
canceled.
upset about that. I often cry myself to sleep.
Every time we go on a road trip, it's like a 2-hour rant of him just going, "Why can't they just bring it back?"
Because why can't they? They fired the guy who canceled it. That's
Yeah.
true.
Well, maybe they will. Maybe if Justice League picks up really well, maybe Young
That
Justice
would
is
be
on
great.
the way.
I hope so. Let's all pray to the cartoon gods.
To the Cartoon Network gods.
Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera.
Superman is getting a new alter ego.
Oh,
Yeah,
who's that
he-
going to be?
Recently, in case people don't know, in the comics, Superman, Clark Kent, had been revealed to be Superman by Lois Lane.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows who he is. So he lost his job. Everybody knows who he is. He lost his powers.
Yeah.
And now he's probably getting his powers back. But he's also, everyone knows who Clark Kent is. So he
Yeah.
can't be Clark Kent anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to be Archie Clayton, truck driver.
I guess the truck driver shtick is all right, but Archie Clayton couldn't come
Yeah.
up with a better name.
I guess not.
All right, Archie. I'm still gonna call you Clark. There's
Yeah.
no way you're Archie from
Probably
now on.
just call him Superman.
Soups,
Soupy.
tomato soups,
The soup is too hot. Soup or man.
soup or man.
But yeah, now instead of glasses hiding his secret identity, it's
He's
a
got
hat.
beard. Oh,
He's got a hat now.
he needs to grow a trucker beard though.
But then people would be like, hey, Superman's got a beard now. It doesn't make sense.
I'm pretty sure somewhere along the lines he got the power to grow a beard instantly. So whenever he has to be Superman, he just shaves it off really quickly.
Maybe
Goes
like
off and does Superman stuff, comes back and
pre-crisis, but not anymore.
oh
Now he's very limited on powers.
damn.
Still super powerful.
That still needs to be his power. They need to give him the power to grow instant beards.
That would be pretty cool.
He'd be the
Superman.
master of disguise.
Faster than a speeding bullet, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, grows a beard in an instant.
He's starting to
Master.
give Chuck Norris a run for his
Yeah.
money.
Moving on.
All right.
Infinity Wars Part 1 and 2.
Uh-huh.
Today, in fact, we got some hot news here.
Ooh.
This is hot off the presses of rumors. It's rumored to believe that the budget for Infinity's Part 1 and 2 is going to be $1 billion.
$1 billion?
$1 billion. For people who couldn't see, when Edgar said that, he put his pinky up to his mouth like Dr. Evil.
Yep. Thank you for getting that.
Yeah, no problem.
But damn, that's a lot of money. Wait, for
Yeah.
both parts?
Yeah, so
that's $500 million each.
yeah, which is
That's
about
not
what
too
they're
bad.
gonna have to pay Robert Downey Jr.
How do you feel about that? Not
the
about
budget,
paying Robert Downey Jr., but
because I do have feelings on that.
the budget for the movies.
Uh,
I think it's
you
gonna
know,
be enough.
well-
You think?
I think it seems like a lot of money,
Yeah.
but you're literally including every character you've had so far, every single superhero, Guardians, Avengers.
Do we know if Guardians are going to be in Infinity
They're
Wars yet?
gonna be in it?
But maybe they might not be in part 1.
That's true.
So,
that's
I
a good
mean,
point.
Maybe they'll just split the cast. Like, we'll only have the essentials in part 1, or maybe the essentials just in part 2. Like, maybe they'll kill off a ton of characters in part 1.
Yeah.
And they'll only be in it for like 30 minutes.
I bet you Thanos isn't even gonna show up into the end of Part 1.
He might send his lackeys.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big fight, like the last 2 Avengers movies, and then like they're gonna be all tired, and then Thanos will show up, and the movie will end, and then we'll go to Part 2. That's how it's gonna be. I guarantee
How
it.
are they going to do the break between Infinity Wars Part 1 and Part 2? Because there are movies in between those,
That's
right?
true. I'm assuming those movies will just take place before that. It'll be real confusing.
That'll be dumb. Because, like, that's like putting fillers in the middle of a huge battle.
Yeah.
And you know how much I hate that in anime.
Yeah.
If they do that with this, it's going to be worse because it's not like a month filler. It's about a year and a half worth of filler movies I'm going to have to... And not even filler movies, because between each of those is like 3 to 4 months I have to wait to watch those.
Yeah.
And if they aren't going to advance the story, then it just makes me mad.
Well, like, I guess they could do it like Captain... Okay, what they could do, for at least Captain Marvel, is it's still a filler,
Yeah.
but this is what they could do. Have her be in the first one, like she's fighting, and then Thanos shows up, and then you have a little bit in that one where they're like, hey, you go into space and get more people to help us. And that's when she goes into space.
Maybe that's where she gets Guardians.
Yeah,
she could
that's
go and find the
exactly
Guardians
that's what I'm trying
in
to
that movie.
Yeah.
That's true.
And so then that could lead into the second one where the Guardians show up. There, we've just written this whole movie.
Woo.
3 movies right there.
Good
written.
job.
All done. So yeah, what do you think about that budget?
I don't know. I feel like it's a little on the small side.
Really?
Yeah,
$1 billion.
Like $1 billion between 2 movies.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's a lot of characters. It's a lot of actors that they have to pay for, and a lot of these actors are pretty top billed actors now. They're not cheap actors like
Thanks,
they might have been
Marvel.
at the beginning. But like now they're really top actors, and so I'm guessing 3/4 of those $500 million are gonna go towards paying those actors.
Mostly Robert Downey Jr.
And then they only have 1/4 of that left to pay to the sets, the CG, the editing,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
promoting. Which promoting takes a lot of money for.
Yeah. Well, we don't know for sure if this budget includes promotion costs.
Okay. Well,
So, this could actually be like a little bit more.
then what?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Also,
it still seems a little low on my.
Yeah.
in my
Also,
opinion.
it's hard to say that this is a lot for this movie because they have literally been building this since like Iron Man 1, which was 2000.
We were
Six?
freshmen.
Were we? So
yeah,
2009?
2009 or so, I think.
So by the time it gets there, like 10 years this has been building.
Yeah. And it's a long time.
Yeah,
And
so-
this turns out to be a Duke Nukem, I'm going to slap someone.
God, I hope that doesn't happen. I'll be so sad. My whole life has been wasted at that point.
Yeah. But,
That's literally half my life. 10 years.
yeah.
Actually, no, at that point it would be less than half my life.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
true.
I forgot that I also age.
No, you're just going to stay 21
Yep.
for the rest of your life. Up until Infinity Wars comes out, then you resume aging.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. That wouldn't
Anyway,
be too bad.
moving on to more
Holy
Marvel
shit,
news.
we're going to be like 24 and 25 when
Yeah.
that movie comes out.
Wow.
We need to have our lives made by then.
Nope. My
No.
life is just...
My life is going to freeze.
My life will go depending on those movies. Anyway.
you find a girlfriend, you're thinking about signing a lease for an apartment. Infinity Wars comes out, fucking sucks. You just give up.
Just throw everything away. I'm homeless now. And then I slowly start building up until the next one comes out. And then depending on if that one's good. That second one's going to be a super rush job.
Yeah.
I've had 20-something years to build to the first one. It sucks. I throw it all away, and I've got like a year to build up again. Farther, in fact. I have to become a billionaire at that
Oh,
point.
goodness. Then you're going to give another $1 billion to make a better movie. Oh, God. Your life is not going to go well, Steven.
No, this was a bad choice I made. But I made this choice, damn it.
Yes, you did. Anyway,
Last piece of news. Ant-Man 2 is happening.
Oh.
It's actually going to be called Ant-Man and Wasp.
Ooh.
So yeah, we're definitely getting the Wasp.
Awesome.
And
Is this the first one that combines superheroes
I think
from
so.
the Marvel
Yeah.
universe? Yeah. We don't
There
get that
have
a
been
lot.
like major roles in like in not Civil War, but
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Thank you. Black Widow was in there like the whole movie.
Yeah, but
it was
this
still-
is the first time where in the movie title, it's not just Ant-Man
Yeah.
2 this. It's Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah.
So it's like a new IP, sort of.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm excited for that. I loved the first one.
Yeah.
so.
Also, this movie did a lot better than most people thought. Overseas, it altogether, worldwide, it's made about $409 million.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so that means it passed the first Captain America
Ooh.
and Hulk, the original Hulk movie, and it's yet to
That's
be
not
released
hard to do,
in
though.
China. That movie made over $200 million.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, so it surpassed those things.
That's pretty
And
good.
it is yet to open up in China, which is where all the money is made.
Yeah, there's a lot of money to
Yeah.
be made in China.
So yeah, it could very well also pass Thor: The Dark World.
Oh, well, that's good, because I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that movie.
You
Even
like
though Ant-Man?
Oh, Ant-Man. I
I
thought
don't know,
you
I
meant
never
Thor: The Dark-
watched. I didn't watch Thor: Dark World. So many people told me to. I was like, I'll get to it, but I just never did get to it.
I watched it when it was on HBO, and by watch, I mean I had it on in the background while I sat on my phone. And sometimes I would look up.
You saw just enough, like, what is it called? The red stone.
Oh,
I can't remember what they call it in the movie.
yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Didn't care enough.
That's the only scene I've seen where it's like the red stone and it's like flowing somewhere.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know of that movie.
I
Also,
know.
that there used to be cups for it, because I used to work at a restaurant, and like 5
Oh,
of the
yeah.
workers there would bring their giant Thor Dark World cups and fill
Nice.
them up with soda to have throughout the day,
That's smart.
and then they'd make me wash it.
Oh, what dicks.
Right? Made me
It's a
so
dick
mad.
move. Wash your own cups.
Yeah, fuck you.
Anyway, so this is cool, but it's also got a little bit of backlash to it, because apparently it's gonna come out July 6th of 2018,
All
which
right.
pushes back 2 other movies people are looking forward to.
Ooh, which ones?
The 2 movies that always get pushed back: Black Panther and Captain Marvel,
Ooh,
which were slated for 2017 and 2018, which are now moved to 2018 and 2019.
ooh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Because I really want to see a Captain Marvel movie.
Same here.
That would be a really fun movie.
I think for the amount I talk about it, it's probably obvious.
Well, I mean, maybe now it gives them more time to look for a good Captain Marvel.
Emily Blunt.
Marvel, you hear that? Steven's got your perfect Marvel.
I've already cast it. I do everything else.
You
for this
now
movie.
have 4 years to
Yeah.
get her. See?
Exactly.
You'll be fine. But, like, it gives them time to really work on making it good. Because, like,
Yeah,
as
that's
we've
true.
talked about it before, this movie is going to be a very pivotal point in female superhero movies.
Not anymore. Now Wasp is coming out, so
But it's still Ant-Man and Wasp.
that's true.
They're
This will
still
be
a duo.
this will be Marvel's first female solo movie. Although Wonder Woman will have come out years before this now.
All right. Well, then Wonder Woman.
It's still an important movie for Marvel.
Yeah, it's an important movie for both, because
Yeah.
at this point only Wonder Woman would have come out,
Yeah.
and then Captain Marvel will come out. These 2 movies will define whether or not movie studios will continue to make female superhero movies.
But I'm tired of waiting.
I know.
I want
man.
it now.
I know, man. All of these movies seem so close. Like when you see the schedules, you're like, oh my god, this movie's coming out, this movie's coming
Yeah.
out, this movie's coming out. And then you look at the dates and it's like 2019, that's not so long ago.
Yeah.
That's not so long from now. That's 4 years. That's how long I spent in high school.
Exactly. I'm gonna relive high school, I guess.
Yeah, just to wait for a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem with releasing the schedule too soon.
Yeah.
Now you have a
that's
ton
true.
of people just waiting around for 5 years.
Yeah. Also, something that bothers me is why is Black Panther getting affected by this? Like I said, that movie was set to come out in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it getting pushed back? And it's still coming out. It's coming out in February of 2018, which is still ahead of Ant-Man. So why? Why is that one getting affected at all?
I don't know. Well, no, you're right. There is no reason why that
Yeah.
should be affected. But I guess we don't make the decision,
That's true.
and we don't see how much it takes backstage to do them.
We should make these decisions.
We should,
Marvel,
Maybe we
I'm demanding it.
but maybe there are some outside influences which are causing them to delay them. But I
That's
guess we'll
true.
see.
All right, that's it for the news.
Well, I have some news.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do news sometimes.
yeah, I do news. I do
All right,
news.
that's it for my news.
Yeah. Did you hear about the unions for esports?
I have not.
Well, just recently, last week, I think they finally started getting unions for esports teams, so that they can ask for like better conditions, so like private bathrooms, stuff like that, stuff that
that's
normal
cool.
unions would do.
Yeah.
But apparently, the esports teams have become very demanding,
Oh.
like requiring private bathrooms away from everyone else. Like they just want their own private bathrooms.
Like each specific player?
I don't know if it's that deep, but like they've been getting pretty crazy with their demands of what they want now that they have a union. So it's getting a little backlash.
Yeah.
And apparently, and this was just something I just read like a half hour ago. 96% of voice actors for video games are going on strike.
Really?
For I want to say it's better pay, but I'm not sure. Yeah, they want better pay.
That's fair.
And so 96% of all voice actors who do video games are going on strike,
Wow.
which is a huge chunk
Yeah.
of, if you think how many video games come out a year, which is a big budget video games, maybe 10, 15.
Yeah.
That's like if 96% of actors in movies decided, we're not going to do movies anymore until you pay us better.
Wow. I would be very mad at them
Right?
because they get paid way too well.
Yeah, but I mean, voice actors don't get paid that well.
Yeah.
Unless they are already big. Like,
Like Tara
Fucking-
Strong.
yeah, or Nathan Fillion,
Yeah.
Captain Hammer. He's going to be in the new Halo game.
Well, that's because he's also an actor, a very liked actor.
Yeah, but like he was actually in a previous Halo game, ODST.
Ah.
Yeah, and then he got promoted to a Spartan, and now he's on the Osiris Spartan team, hunting
Nice.
down Master Chief. This
Good
game's
for
gonna
you,
be
Nathan Fillion.
This game's gonna be pretty cool.
You deserve that promotion.
My brother and I have asked for the 2 days off when that game comes out, so we can beat
Wow.
it. Yeah. Anyway, what do you think about that? Do you think?
I think they definitely deserve better pay.
Yeah, but it's such a huge thing.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time that so many people have gone on strike for a video game cause.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I hope
I'm
they
just-
get it.
Yeah. Did you see the Lex Luthor Batman vs Superman promotion thing they did?
I remember hearing about it. I don't
Okay.
really want to look at it.
I read it and it was so cool. So basically, what they did was Forbes, which is this popular business
Yeah, I'm aware.
news website, they did an interview with Lex Luthor, and it was formatted as if Lex Luthor was actually a real person.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how he inherited the company from his dad, and he changed it from being an energy company to a tech company, and how he's building this great new creation that'll change life as we know it, which will be revealed soon. And they did it in such a way that it looks real, like it feels like a real interview, as if we're being presented. But it's just a promotional stunt being
Yeah.
made by it. But it looks so well made.
Yeah, I enjoy when studios do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember when Days of Future Past came out?
I don't.
And Fox made a bunch of like conspiracy theories about JFK's assassination.
Oh.
That he was like it actually tied into the movie, but like that came from like a viral video they made of him. Like it was just this dude talking over pictures, but it was him talking about how there was this huge conspiracy theory about like the president being a mutant and Magneto curving the bullet.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's actually another example, which was just recently, of a similar thing that turned horribly wrong. Activision Treyarch, the people who are in charge of making Call of Duty Black Ops, with their new game, which is taking place in Malaysia in the future. Apparently the world has gone into hell and there's a lot of nuclear strikes and shit going on. And so what Treyarch did, or what Activision did, is they released a bunch of like tweets and news articles like mourning the loss of a ton of people in
Oh.
war, and but in that war. So like in Malaysia, they were talking about a giant explosion that occurred and killed thousands of people, only for it to turn out that it wasn't real, that it was just a promotional stunt. And they released videos of things blowing up, and they're like, "This is so bad. This is gonna be this is a terrible tragedy for the world." And then they're like, it was actually just a promotional stunt.
That's real dumb.
Yeah, it was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. But they did it in such a way that it was realistic. And so it was just terrible. It was really upsetting to a lot of people, and they had to apologize profusely for it because
yeah, they should.
it's not a good thing to do
No.
to people.
Don't fake explosions in Malaysia, people.
Yeah, it's bad. It just creates panic.
Or anywhere, really.
No. Unless it's in your pants. Then you can have explosions in your pants.
Yes. You can fake explosions there. Although I don't know why you would want to.
You gotta take a shit. I don't know. But yeah. Well, I think that's it for my news, I think.
All right, so we are now officially done with the news.
Oh wait, no, I had
Never
one more
mind, I guess.
This one just reminded me on here. Power Man and Iron Fist are getting a new comic series.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty
coming up
excited for this.
When's it coming out? Like coming year or so?
Yeah, something like that.
For the first time in a ton of years, they're finally getting a series together.
All new, all different Marvel starts.
Yeah.
We should talk about that when that happens.
Sure. I mean, when's it start?
It's technically kind of already started just this Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
All new, all different Iron Man came out, which is Iron Man without money.
Oh.
And all new, all different Spider-Man, which is Spider-Man with money.
Oh. Why do I feel like the Iron Spider-Man suit is coming?
It's not.
The Iron Spider.
He's got a spider car.
Ooh.
That can drive up walls and stuff.
So wait, in this, because I haven't read anything, is Spider-Man... Does everyone know who Spider-Man is in this case then? Is he like Tony Stark where everyone's just like, it's Peter Parker. He's
I don't
Spider-Man.
know if... I haven't read it.
Oh, okay.
I haven't picked up
You
anything
just know
this week.
that is what it is.
I've heard things about it. But I don't know if they know, but like Peter Parker is now like... He is like Tony Stark in that he's a public figure. Because he, if people don't know, a while back there was a storyline called Superior Spider-Man, which is where Doc Ock was dying and put his brain into Peter Parker's. So he took over his body.
Yep.
And while he was doing that, he was becoming a much better Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to take over Spider-Man. I'm going to do it much better than he could.
Yeah, hence the name Superior Spider-Man.
And then he got cool little robot arms.
Yeah, those sweet arms. Anyway, and while he did that, he built Parker Industries. And it became a huge success.
Oh, so is this still a continuation?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
This is after that, and then Peter gets his mind back, and now he's running Parker Industries.
And how did Tony Stark lose his money?
Stuff.
Stuff.
I don't know,
Stuff
actually.
happened.
I don't read Iron Man comics.
All right.
Don't really like Iron Man.
Oh.
Unpopular opinion.
Because I
don't
really
like
want to
Iron
know
Man.
what happened there. I want to know how he lost all his money.
Probably
that seems important.
something to do with when the world was ending.
Maybe. That tends to take people's money as away.
But yeah, those two comics are out. Also, All New, All Different .1, which is basically explaining what the hell All New, All Different is.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So maybe once the series starts rolling and we know more about it, we'll make an episode about it. And we'll talk about it.
Basically, this is just a good way for people to get into comic books.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
So it should be fun. So you guys should totally check it out.
Yeah.
All right. So on to our main event, I think.
Yeah.
Where we should be going to. So this week, continuing our spooky spooktacular of Spooktober.
Spooktoberfest.
This week we're going to be talking about our favorite horror movies.
Yeah.
So how are we going to do this? Go back and forth. You say one, I say one. You say one, I say one, like we usually do. All right. You want to start it?
Sure.
All right.
Okay, I'm actually going to start with horror comedy that I really want to talk about. It's a great movie. It's very underseen. Like, not a lot of people saw it, which sucks because it's a really great movie. It's called Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
It's on Netflix, and I've wanted to watch it, but
You
I never
should.
actually
It's
watched it.
Hilarious. But the point of it is that it's about these two guys, Tucker and Dale, who are like living in the backwoods, kind of redneck Southern guys. And like it's basically a trope on the whole backwoods Southern crazy people trying to murder you. And so it follows them as they just try and live their lives. And a group of teenagers come out to this area to like camp and the stereotypical teenage thing, and they see them and like they're just like, oh, look at those creepy guys. And so basically the whole movie is a misunderstanding between the teenagers thinking they're murderers and Tucker and Dale just trying to be like, hey, we're trying to help you.
That sounds like a pretty fun
It's
movie.
hilarious. I don't want to give too much away because there's a big twist at the end.
Okay.
But yeah.
So would it be too much of a spoiler to ask you who's the monster or the antagonist in
That
the movie?
would be,
or is it
'cause-
just the misunderstanding is the main point of the movie?
That would be a big spoiler because there's a big like point of that
Okay.
showing who the monster is at the end.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. It's really funny.
All right. Well, I'll check it out. I wanted to. I just never gotten around to it.
So yeah, that's because it's great because it takes like tropes of horror movies and it's like, hey,
Yeah.
that's not always what happens.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very good one. For my first one, I'm going to go with a movie that it was critically acclaimed for being terrible. It was easily one of the worst movies, and I think it's the last movie I saw Frankie Muniz in. Stay Alive. Have you heard of that movie?
Oh yeah, I remember that movie. I've seen it.
The only reason I like it is because it takes two of my favorite things: video games and killing people. So for those of you who don't know, basically what the movie is these people stumble upon this video game that when you play it and you die in the game itself is a horror survival game, and if you die in the game, you'll die exactly the same in real life.
If you die in the game, you die for real.
Exactly. But yeah, it's basically, so it follows these group of college students who are my phone is ringing. Is that my phone?
Yes.
I'll get it later.
Definitely not mine.
Probably not important. Anyway, so it follows these group of, I think they're college students. Otherwise, they're a little older than college students. So, and they've all played this game.
Aren't they like game testers? Like freelance game testers or something
Okay, well,
like
at
that?
the beginning of the game, there's this guy named Lance who is a game tester. Like, that's his job. And he gets this game and he plays it. And he ends up dying. And so at his funeral, he when he dies, he gives his possessions to one of his friends, whose name I can't remember. But he gets the game, and and the guy's like, well, this is the game that he played when he died. Do you guys want to play it with me? And so a bunch of them get together, and they all play the game together. And then they find out that people are dying in that way, and so on and so forth. And so they're basically trying to survive and figure out how to stop them from dying. It's a bad movie, and I understand that. Like, I watched the movie, and it's like, this is really bad acting. The plot's not that good. But I feel like the concept behind it is my favorite.
It's
I
a cool
love the
concept.
idea of you playing something innocent looking and it coming to kill you without you being able to stop it in any way. Yeah, so that's mine.
All right, now I'm going to talk about an actually scary one.
All right.
It's a movie called The Strangers.
I haven't seen it.
It's genuinely pretty terrifying. It's probably one of the scariest movies I've seen.
All right.
Basically, it's about this couple. Mm-hmm. You don't know much about the couple at first because it opens up with them coming home after a wedding, not their wedding, and they're like arguing. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, after like they argue and they're talking, they get a knock at the door. Mm-hmm. And they open up the door to see who it is. Their lights off so they can't really see. And like the girl at the door is like, "Is blah 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 home?" It's like, "I'm sorry, you have the wrong house." And that's when shit goes down.
Ooh, shit.
Because basically the whole plot is that it's this family that wears these creepy looking masks, and like now they're trying to kill this couple.
Ooh.
And the most terrifying part about it is it's just completely random why they're doing it. Like there's a line in the movie where like the woman is like, "Why are you doing this? Why us? Why are you trying to kill it?" And the like girl looks at him like, "Because you were home."
Ooh.
Yeah. And the scariest part about this is that it's partially based on a true story.
Ooh. That's even
Yeah.
spookier.
There were apparently at one point a group of random killings. Similar to the way this story works, someone would knock at the door. If they were home, the family would be murdered.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Did they ever catch the families or the people that were killing?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's even spookier.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
I don't remember.
You know?
The movie or the actual stuff?
The actual stuff.
I think it was a while ago.
Okay, so there's probably a low chance of them still being out there. All right. Well.
Or it could just be a roving gang of old people.
Oh, goodness. Hello? Are you home? Yeah, what can I do for you, old man? They're home! Bring it! And they just go in with their walkers. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Why are you doing this?
Because you were home!
And then they just like realize that, wait, they're old people. That needs to be a movie. Old people trying to kill you.
The old strangers.
And then there's just like a montage to the song Bad Reputation where they're just beating the shit out of the old people.
I would love to see this movie.
We need to make that movie.
Yep, it's gonna be the first video of Welcome to the Family Zone. Us beating up old people to Bad Reputation.
It's not even like we've just got a shitty like cell phone camera and we're just going around punching actual old people.
We'll take their walkers and just beat them up.
Why are you doing this?
Because you were on the street. Oh god, we're terrible people.
Yeah, we are. But yeah, that movie is legitimately terrifying.
So, does it have a lot of jump scares in it, or is it just a spooky environment?
It's both. There are points where there's like a lot of just tension, like where you're waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
And then there are points where it's like, boo!
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like boo. That's always the worst. But yeah, so sounds like a good movie though.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right.
It's got Liv Tyler, since we brought her up earlier.
Did we?
Yeah, with Steven Tyler.
Oh yeah, her.
Yeah.
I try to forget her.
How can you want to forget Liv Tyler? She's great.
Because I like Steven Tyler more.
Well,
I'm a big Aerosmith fan.
he let her strip in one of his videos, so he clearly likes her more.
I guess so.
In a creepy way.
I guess I like Steven Tyler. And what Steven Tyler likes, I will like too.
Exactly.
Anyway, for my next one, it's along the similar line of yours. Your Next.
Yes, that's a good one.
I really enjoyed that movie, and it's got a lot
We saw that in theaters together.
Yeah, we did. That was the second time I watched it.
Really?
I saw it
Wow.
opening night.
Cool.
Yeah. But for those of you who don't know, basically it's this family and they're having a family reunion at their house. And then all of a sudden there's a crossbolt shooting through the window and stabs a guy and he dies. And this is all in the trailer, so this isn't really a spoiler, you know. And then it turns out that there's these, I want to say it's two guys who just want to murder everyone. And that's basically the premise. There are twists along the movie, but I'm not going to give those because there's huge spoilers with those twists.
Yeah.
But basically it's just two guys murdering people, and they set up traps and everything, and a lot of the kills are really gruesome.
That's also a bit of a comedy. Like, there are points in there that just make you laugh.
Yeah, some of it's pretty. Well, I wouldn't say it's pretty funny, but there's comic relief there.
Yeah.
Where it needs to be, and it's a decent movie overall. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good movie.
There's also probably the most badass female in any horror movie.
Yeah. There's one girl who's the fiance of one of the actual sons of the family.
Yeah, because it's a family reunion.
Yeah, and so she comes along and she steps up as the heroine of the movie, and she starts kicking ass. and she countered traps and stuff. And it's a really good movie. I enjoyed it.
Real quick, what time are we running?
We're going about 44 minutes.
All right, so we got more time.
Yeah, we got a few.
Okay. We'll talk one last movie, and then I want to ask you a few questions.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, so next movie I want to talk about is a more recent one, and it's called It Follows.
Ooh.
It's a pretty scary movie, but the premise is that it's about like this young girl who just wants like a relationship and to be happy, and like it starts out as like a romantic movie. It starts out with her and a boyfriend like going on dates and like falling in love, and then like finally she's like, I'm ready to bang.
All right.
And so they bang in the back of his car.
All right.
And then he's like, hey, listen, drug. And he drugs her, and he ties her up into a chair. And, like, he takes her to the top of this abandoned parking lot.
Oh, God.
And he's like, listen, you basically have an STD now. Because that's what this movie is basically a metaphor for.
Yeah.
At least it seems like it is to me.
I think so. I think it's the idea of...
Have you seen this movie?
No, but I read the synopsis.
You need to see it. It's good. But yeah, and he's like, you basically have an STD now because there's this monster thing that is going to follow you wherever you go. It's slowly walking towards you at all times. No matter where you go, what you're doing, whatever, it's going to follow you. And if it catches you, it's going to kill you. And the only way to pass it on is if you have sex with somebody else. And even then, after they kill that person, it'll come back to you. So it...
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's basically an STD
Yeah.
metaphor, but...
And so it's with you for the rest of your life. You get it from having sex.
Huh. That must be a terrible universe to live in.
Yeah.
Because if you knew about that tale, you'd just be scared to have sex with anyone. Do you think it would be worth it?
Yes.
Would you still bang knowing that there might be a chance of you being followed by a creature?
Absolutely.
No,
I think anyone would.
Yeah. I mean, because they still do in this movie.
But yeah, so the movie is them, like, she's trying to run away from it and figure out how to kill it, and if she can.
All right.
Yeah. It's a real good movie.
Is it scary, though?
It is scary.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
Because that was my issue. Because, like, from not having seen the movie, but knowing about its premise, it just never felt like it could be scary. Like, it would be tense and it would make you paranoid because you would know that something is following you and, like, you're watching someone being followed. But it never felt like that had any moments to be scary, just tense.
Yeah, it's mostly tense, but there are some, like, the jump scares, granted, but there are some scary moments.
Okay. Well, sounds good.
But yeah, it is mostly tense. Like, there's, I don't want to give too much away, but there's a scene where, like, her and her friends drive off and, like, go to this dude's beach house a few, like, hours away, and they're just hanging out and chilling, and, like, as they're sitting there talking in the background, you can see someone slowly walking towards them, and, like, no one notices or anything, but it's just slowly walking towards them, and, like, the cool thing about it is it can be anything or anyone.
Yeah.
So if someone's just, like, walking towards you, you really don't know if it's the thing or not. So it's cool.
All right.
It's scary. So what's your next one?
This is our last one, right?
Yeah.
For my last one, I'm going to go with Cabin in the Woods.
Nice.
Which, to me...
genre-bending movie.
Yeah, and it, in my opinion, when I first heard of it, I was like, this is going to be a stupid movie. This is going to be the worst fucking movie. This is just a rip-off of every movie, every horror movie that's ever been out. It's nothing original.
And then you realized that was the point?
I was reluctant to watch it for like a good 2 years. And then one night I was like, you know what, fuck it. It's on Netflix. I'm going to watch it. So I put it on. And the beginning was exactly what I expected. It's like it's just a bunch of teenagers going out to a cabin. They're going to get murdered. But then they introduced one of the first twists, which is not entirely spoilers, but it's a big plot point for the movie, is that they're actually part of an experiment or a ritual thing. And so they're being killed by a group of scientists. And I thought that was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, I love that movie.
And
it's got great twists.
And it has every monster you could possibly want in it. It's got zombies, Fucking Cthulhu shows up at some point. They got harpies. It's just fucking one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a horror movie. And like you said, it is genre bending. Like, they just grab every trope of a horror movie they could, mashed it together into a pretty decent movie. And I thought that was pretty cool. So if you guys haven't seen it, go see it.
Oh yeah, definitely see that movie.
It's one of my favorites, personally. All right, you said you wanted to ask me a few questions?
Yeah, let's
go
talk
for
for
it.
a little bit. Okay.
All right.
What is the scariest movie to you? Like, what's the scariest one you've seen? Is it one of these you've mentioned or something else?
Something else. Child's Play. Child's Play is the scariest movie in my opinion. For reasons of, like, their personal reasons, that I was traumatized by it as an early kid, where I had an evil aunt who terrorized me with a Chucky doll. And from then on, just watching the movie fills me with just this terror inside.
I get you. I feel the same way. Although I'm not afraid of the movie anymore.
It's only the first one, though. The second and third one are funny enough for me to be all right with them. I don't give a shit about the second and third ones. They're fine. It's the first one that gives me the, like, just a panic if I see it playing. In fact, I have a funny story about that. One time, I want to say 8 or so. Yeah, I'm going to go with 8. And we went to, this was back where Blockbuster and Hollywood were still things. And so I was walking down the aisles and I was going to pick a movie. And then I stumbled upon Child's Play. And I grab it and I turn it around and I take it up to the front desk and I say, "Can you put this away? Because I don't want to see it. It's scary." And the guy just takes it and he's like, "All right." He just puts it under the counter. I was like, "Thank you." And just walk away.
Good job.
That was me facing my fear. Putting Chucky away. How about you? What's your scariest movie?
Oh, jeez. Probably, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think the one that, like, scared me the most times, like the most times I've jumped in a movie, might have been The Conjuring.
That one's a pretty good one.
I think most people know that one. If you don't, it's about, like, this family who moved into this house. It's haunted. But the scene that really gets me is the clap scene.
Ooh, the clap.
Where they're playing hide and clap. And the mom goes into the basement, and she's got nothing but the
match.
Yeah, and, like, right next to her, hands show up and just clap.
And then the light goes out.
Yeah, that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, that was pretty scary. That scene was ruined for me because it was in the trailer. And so when she went there and she only had the match, I was like,
didn't watch any trailers for that movie.
I did. Yeah. I watched a ton.
But yeah, that scene and that, I don't, like, jump a lot in movies. Or I'll jump, but I'll never scream.
Yeah.
I screamed at that part. I legitimately, like, jumped to the back of my seat because I was just, like, laying there, like, watching it and kind of spinning in the chair. Yeah. I was in a spinny chair. And, like, just watching it, and then that happened, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, the movie's pretty good, and it's also supposedly based on real events as well, because the Warren family, or the Warren
Ed and
couple,
Lorraine Warren,
they're actually real.
Yeah.
What are they called? Paranormal experts.
Yeah.
And their Annabelle movie is also based on a real, but she's based on a Raggedy Ann doll.
That's getting a sequel.
The Raggedy Ann doll movie?
Yeah, Annabelle.
How is that getting a sequel?
I don't know. I think The Conjuring
is
too.
The movie.
Or it might just be The Conjuring.
I think it might just be The Conjuring, because I think The Conjuring still left it at a cliffhanger.
Yeah. That one and The Ring.
The Ring?
Yeah.
The Ring is pretty creepy. I gotta admit, that was a pretty creepy movie. I still don't like it.
Yeah. That's a real good movie to me. But just the idea of, like, there being a videotape out there, and then you get that phone call.
Yeah, the phone call. Yeah. Well, the phone call was ruined for me by Scary Movie 3.
This is just you saying, this was ruined by blah, blah, blah to me.
Yeah, but, like, Scary Movie 3 ruined that. Yeah. The scariness of the phone call, because they did a good job of playing it off as not scary
That
anymore.
movie, The Ring was scary to me, and it's still the idea of it is scary. But watching it, I'm not scared anymore.
Yeah.
Because of that.
You've grown as a stronger man because of Scary Movie 3.
Yeah.
All right, second question.
What country do you think has the best horror movies? Is it Japan? Because it's probably Japan.
Japan has the creepiest. But Mexico has some pretty good ones too.
I don't think I've seen a Mexican horror movie,
There are
actually.
some pretty good ones. There's one where it's
Recommend.
it's called The Wind Blows, and it's about these girls at an orphanage. And this is like a strictly Catholic orphanage. And then I think one of the nuns starts killing the girls, but none of them know who the nun is. Like, they just know that it's one of the nuns killing them, but all of the nuns seem pretty happy about it. Like, they're all right, so they all could be suspects. And it's just a really creepy movie.
That
and I
does
thought
sound creepy.
that was one of my favorite movies growing up because my parents showed that movie to me
Nice.
for some odd reason. I have no idea. My parents were weird. When I was 4, they showed me Pet Sematary,
Nice.
and that apparently became my favorite movie. How about you? What would you say is yours? Said
Japan.
Japan.
Yeah.
Japan does produce some of the. My problem with Japan is they tend to go very for the gory, creepy aspect more than like general scariness.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, because like I said, the Ringu, as the
Yeah.
original was called, and the Grudge, Ju-on. Yeah.
I
Jinx.
did watch Ju-on.
Jinx-on.
Oh,
More like it. Now you have to stay silent for the rest of this podcast. Yes, I've taken over. Okay, you can talk.
Yes.
Edgar. Is that what you have to do?
I think you have to
Yeah.
say their name like 3 times.
Oh, Edgar.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, those movies, the original version, way scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty terrifying.
Do you think? Okay, here's another question. Do you think movies are scarier because they're in a different language, and so you can't necessarily understand what they're saying? That makes it scarier. So it's just like way more hectic, or do you think they are just generally scarier?
I think they're just generally scarier. I think other countries have a better grasp at creating tones for their movies. While here in America, we've kind of become a formula.
Yeah.
Like, horror movies will follow a formula where everything's all right. Things slowly start becoming creepier. Something big happens. Everything kind of starts falling after that.
Yeah.
So there's only like one big scare. In foreign movies, they really build everything up at like something terrifying will happen at the beginning. 20 minutes later, something terrifying will happen again.
Yeah.
And so on. Like, you never have a moment to chill in a foreign film because they're that good at building this atmosphere. You feel like a character watching these movies. You feel like something could kill you at any moment, like what's going on.
So it's more that they have a different archetype.
Have a different style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, because we're so used to like, oh, there's going to be a jump scare here. There's a little bit of tension. But with those movies, we don't necessarily know the formula.
And I think another aspect of it, which is something I just thought of, is with most foreign films, unless you know the language, you'll have to watch it with subtitles.
Yeah.
And with subtitles, you have to be focused on the screen at all times.
That's
It's
true.
like the scary maze games or those spot the difference things where like you're paying so much attention to it that when something happens, it catches you off guard
Yeah.
because you're so focused on reading instead of focusing on it being a movie. And so when something scary happens, you're surprised entirely.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on
Yeah.
it. How about you?
I like that.
Do you-
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
All right. So you got another question?
I don't know if I have another question, but I want to bring this up. There's a Cracked series on
Yeah.
YouTube called After Hours.
Uh-huh.
They did an old video on horror movies talking about the ways each country has a different, because what we were just talking about has
Yeah.
a different like idea of horror movies.
Uh-huh.
Like America will set most of theirs in like forests
Yeah.
and the wilderness because that's what we're afraid of. Well, Britain, England, and stuff like that will set their movies in the cities because that's what they're afraid of.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting cultural trend.
Yeah.
I took a class at university called Vampires, Werewolves, and Zombies, where we studied horror tropes in different regions and different countries.
Nice.
And like how the stories that came from different cultures reflected what they were afraid of. And like, for example, with like Native American stories, because my teacher was also the Native Americans professor.
That's pretty cool.
She would always bring up these stories, and how a lot of the stories had to do with outsiders. How outsiders were always coming in to try to invade, and whether that was a spirit or whether it was an actual monster, a lot of Native American horror stories have to deal with outsiders trying to get in, which is something that reflects on their cultural experiences with other people. And
That's a
for
good
example, like with Mexico, a lot of our horror stories and horror movies have to deal with losing family, because in our culture, family is very important. When you have a friend, you bring them in as family. They've become family. They're not friends. They become part of your family. And so losing family is a very common thing in horror movies, which is where, like in our Urban Legends episode, where I talk about La Llorona, she was a woman who drowned her kids for a husband who didn't want her after she drowned her kids. And so losing that family caused her to turn into a spirit, to turn into a wailing ghost, forever searching for her family again. So it's very interesting to see the cultural trends that happen and how horror things reflect on that.
Yeah.
There's also another very interesting aspect of how horror stories reflect us versus them. Because you can have a horror movie where the monster isn't necessarily the villain. You know?
Yeah.
Sort of like in Frankenstein. Frankenstein, the monster is the villain.
Yeah.
But only because the people have become the villain to him.
Yeah.
And so the people are the actual frightening aspect, which have caused this monster to go insane. Or not to go insane, but become defensive. He needs to protect himself from this mob, from these people that don't like him. So it's always become a us versus them. Or even in the Underworld series, which isn't exactly a horror movie.
Yeah, that's more like fantasy,
But
I think.
even in that, you have horror villains or horror monsters, which are vampires and werewolves.
Yeah.
And you're rooting for the vampires because you more identify with them, instead of the werewolves, who are more savage. They just like killing people, instead of the vampires, who are more civilized and they have their own.
See, that one seemed more to me like nature versus society.
Yeah. But it's still that us versus them. It's still foreign. We're afraid of the foreign. We're afraid of what we don't understand. Wow, this podcast got deep.
This is deep. We're deep diving into horror movies.
Oh, shit. I skipped like 5 out of the 12 weeks of that class. How I retained anything is beyond my understanding.
You retained just enough for this podcast. If anytime after this someone asks you about something in the class, you're going to be like, well, I don't know.
I watched, because it was a hybrid class, and so what we did was all of the lectures were online, and the homework and activity was in class.
That's cool.
I just didn't go to class because, for personal reasons, but mostly I just didn't want to go to class. But I would read the lectures, and I would fill out all the papers and stuff. I just never turned them in.
Nice.
Yeah, so I did study in the class. I just never went to class. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so that's my take on horror movies.
Yeah. Horror movies are interesting.
Yes, they are.
There's so much that can be done with horror movies. That so little that is.
Mm-hmm. They've become very generic.
Yeah.
And very cookie cutter.
That's I think that's the biggest problem with Hollywood in general. If we're gonna get super deep here, is that at this point it's all about money.
Yeah.
So creativity gets put aside, and this works. This makes money. This is what you have to do. Which
is why some of the indie movies are some of the most terrifying.
Exactly.
Like The Babadook.
Exactly.
I
love The Babadook.
love bringing that movie up.
Yes, I do.
And it's a very scary movie.
It is.
But it's an indie film. It's not made by a big studio. And so you can feel that they've actually put a lot of effort into making a good story instead of making one that'll make money.
Yeah. Like that movie I could not figure out. For most movies I can be like, okay, this is a twist. This is what's happening. Like I was talking to you about this earlier. I just watched The Visit.
Yeah.
That movie, it's supposed to have a twist because it's M. Night Shyamalan. But you can figure it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult.
When you actually mentioned the twist to me, I was like, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense otherwise. And then Yeah, like it become very formulaic. You have your beginnings, you have something traumatic happen, and then it slowly starts getting resolved with a twist at the end.
Yeah.
Which, if they want to make sequels, it'll be a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll just be a good resolution.
Also, real quick, I just want to say if anyone's on the fence, if they want to go see The Visit or not, don't do it. It's not worth it at all.
No?
It's a shit movie.
There you go. Official review from Phantom Zone.
Yeah.
Don't watch it.
It's absolute garbage. The characters are unreal. Like, they're just unbelievable as people.
That's not good.
Yeah.
And yeah, M. Night Shyamalan hasn't had a good run lately.
No,
has he?
I don't know why we're still like, oh, he'll make a good movie.
Wait,
I'm
did
sure.
he make a cameo in this one?
No, he didn't actually.
Oh.
I don't think so anyway.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe he didn't cast himself.
Yeah, he needs to cast himself as the savior of the world.
Yeah. Or the truck driver
Yeah.
who tells him how to stop it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something too important that he shouldn't be a part of.
Yep. But anyway, regardless of that,
I think that's a good spot to end it.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right. So where can they find us?
You can find us on Twitter at WTTPZ. You can email us at gmail at welcome to the Phantom Zone at gmail.com. And on Facebook, facebook.com/WTTPZ, or just search Welcome to the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, we're the only people with that name.
Yeah.
For listening purposes, if you want to share us with your friends, we're on Libsyn, Spreaker, iTunes, Stitcher, and just recently I figured out how to put our episodes on YouTube. So if YouTube is a better platform for you, subscribe to us on YouTube and you'll have access to our videos on there, which will be just our podcast.
Yeah.
We might do some more video-esque stuff later.
We're trying to figure that stuff out. We're both pretty dumb.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. So if you guys want to check us out on there, go ahead and do it. And share us with your friends, because we want to have more people with us.
You're sitting home alone. It's dark and scary. You hear noises outside. You just call up your friend and be like, hey, listen, you should really listen to this podcast. They're pretty great.
And then if someone breaks in to try to kill you, just start playing the podcast. You guys will become best buddies on the couch while you listen to us.
When he's like, you're in an action movie situation, they've got you. And you're just sitting there in a chair tied up, and they're like, now before I kill you, do you have any last words? And you look at them and say, yeah, you should really listen to this podcast.
And then play the podcast.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll let you live. He'll be like, oh my God, this is such a good podcast. They really got my character down in that episode. So I'll let you live. Why not?
Yeah.
You're my new best friend.
You go.
Call me up sometime.
Exactly. And if you're listening to this on iTunes, it really helps if you can rate and review us on there.
Actually, if you're listening to us on anything, if
That's
you're listening
true.
to us on Spreaker, follow us. If you're listening to us on YouTube, subscribe to us. It really goes a long way for us. It helps us learn what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and give us some comments. What do you like to see? And if you have any of your favorite movies, tweet us, email us, or if you even want to be a guest star on the show, we'd be happy to have you. Yeah. So on that note, I think we're good for this episode.
Yep.
All right? Well, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We got deep.
Yeah.
So deep. So spooky.
There is someone watching your footsteps.